Mike Perry versus Jake Paul in bare knuckle. I think that's a completely different fight. But again, I don't know if fans care. Like they just saw him lose, and now he's a loser. Unfortunately, that's how the sport works. Like they don't care about
really
what you
sucks.
did. No, this sport sucks. Like you could have been on top for a decade, but you got knocked out. You got whatever you lost. You suck. That's where Mike Perry's at right now.
The world doesn't know it needs, but I grow disease, planning fuck a name and the fame. Only legacy remains. Remember the name, Aljo and Steve. It ain't motherfucker.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're not really weekly anymore, so
It's terrible.
it's hard to keep saying the weekly scratch.
The
bi-weekly scratch.
I've been busy. I've been a little bit busy, trying to get ready for fights and things and Funk Harbor and things. So it's been a little bit tough to do the podcast a little bit, but all that matters is that we're here right now.
That's true.
That's it. And we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, let's just get right into it. What we got? Jake Paul, Mike Perry, the slobber knocker. Just it wasn't much of a back and forth that I thought it was going to be. I was actually highly impressed with Jake's improvements in his boxing overall, and I thought if there was a guy who's not the most technical, he's just a mean brawler, king of violence type of guy, it was going to be Mike Perry. Credit where credit's due, but for me, I don't know, man. I'm at the point now, I'm like, Paul, you proved you can box. You're getting better with each fight. Now can we see you fight like boxers, your size, your reach, your same reach, everything. So there's no more like lopsided, stacked fight spectacle kind of thing. Because to me, that's what it really is. I feel like it's just more of a spectacle than anything.
No, I think that's pretty fair. I mean, the guy's good at what he does. Like he's got a niche market of he's gonna fight guys. Like again, like I think whoever his coach is probably good at seeing like, okay, this guy's got a good name.
Yeah.
He can't really he can fight, but he can't box, and that is a significant difference. Like that's what I was like. We were talking about this at the gym with like a lot of the guys. Like, they're saying like, oh, Mike Perry's gonna walk him down. He's gonna be able to eat his shots. I'm like, well, he's just gonna see red and kill the guy. Like that's just not how
I see red, bro.
I think that's what everyone was kind of hoping would happen, but it's just not the case. Like you got to learn how to box. Like,
I was actually a little disappointed because don't get me wrong, I like Jake Paul. I did his podcast and everything. Really cool dude. But as an MMA guy, I know what he stands for in the sense of like what he's trying to sell. That he wants Dana to sign him, and unless he pays his fighters like correctly or whatever the case may be. I don't mind that like parading around. For me, I just want to see an MMA guy get this man. That's it.
I mean, he called out Alex Pereira after the fight. Yeah, make that fight. Let's see if that fight actually happens. Like,
but it's not.
Of course, it's not going to happen. Like, but he can just say he wants the Canelo, he wants these guys, and then be like, yeah, like I want to fight these guys, but they don't want to fight me. It's like, yeah, like be the same thing if I just called out. I mean, like, oh man, I want to fight Sean O'Malley tomorrow. It's like, yeah, he's ducking me. Like he won't fight me for like, yeah, of course he won't fight you.
It's not that simple. And even so, I do think if he did fight Poatan, I think Poatan will.
I think Poatan ends his life. Like that guy, that's a different human being you're talking about. Like,
I think
big dude, an actual guy, like probably even bigger than him. Like Mike Perry's a 170 pounder. He fought Eddie Alvarez in the last bare knuckle fight, or maybe 2 bare knuckle fights ago. Like now the guy's a 170 pounder, moving up to 200 pounds. Like I'm sure he didn't have to cut any weight to make that 200 pound limit. I'm sure Jake Paul definitely had to cut weight to make 200. So again, if you're just being objective and fair about it, like. No, this is nonsense. Like, this is insane that people are still falling for this. Like, this guy's he's going to fight Mike Tyson next.
But do we blame Jake Paul or do we blame the fighters that keep taking these fights?
I can't blame the fighters.
That are smaller than him.
Oh, well, but this is the problem. Like, look, you talk to Ben Askren, no one's complaining about that. They made their bread. Like, I'm sure they're all happy with how much they got paid, But, like, I guess for, like, well, I'm sure you're happy with the payment, but I'm not.
In the aftermath.
Yes, but I don't know if you're happy with that part. That's the tough part. But like, that's the business. That's the deal. It just sucks because everyone knows what he's doing, and we can't stop the man. Like that's.
And now he's posting pictures. The fat guy from Disney beat the king of violence. So that's all I hear in my head. I'm just like, yo, bro. One of these MMA guys got to get this man. Someone's got to body him.
There's like an MMA fighter that can box. Like you just bring. And that is the tough part. Like I know, like. I always have that conversation with Longo, and it's not boxing, but like you see a lot of MMA fighters, like they can fight, but they can't do what boxers do, and that's fine because it's a different sport. But as I'm saying, like He's very smart at picking the guys that he knows. Like, I mean, Ben Askren, that was just atrocious. Like, come on, that's not even right to pick a guy like that. Like,
Who was he supposed to fight originally before Perry?
Tyson.
Ah,
Yeah.
so now I know he called him out after that. But even then, it's still like you're fighting a big name, but a guy who's well past his prime.
30 years past his prime. Again, almost like hitting 60. I think he just had a heart issue. Like, what are we talking? This is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure Jake Paul, like, if you talk to him, will say all the right things. He's probably like a very, well-spoken guy. But you're doing scummy stuff. It's fine. You know what you're doing, you motherfucker. Like, it's just not right.
But these guys keep signing.
I know. I guess as long as everyone's getting paid, it's fine.
That's the only part that bugs me. So it's like, on one side of it, like, I am annoyed that he does that to these legends and these guys who have really cut their teeth in their sport. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, I'm like, the first fighter who got, which was Ben Askren. Then we watched the Woodley fight. Then we watched the Fury. Then we watched the Woodley fight too. And I'm just like, I think guys need to realize he is actually athletic.
Oh,
he's actually skilled. He's only getting better because he's really young. And he's a lot bigger than you. 100%. So stop taking these crazy fights. It's like me trying to go out there. I'm like, dude, I'm not fighting him in boxing. Like, if anything I would ever entertain, it would have to be MMA. So I have some odds of at least getting on his legs and hopefully get to his back.
Well, again, you're also,
I'm
35.
half the size.
You're a 45er, yeah. Like, I mean, that would be, I guess.
Once upon a time I was 35.
Well,
I am pretty big now.
Would that be the equivalent of you, like, actually going in there with, like, I guess someone around that? So it would be like a Canelo, I guess, like a 168, 175. Like, those are big boys. Like, it's not, just doesn't make sense. It's not right. But I guess, if everyone's getting paid and everyone's okay with the outcome, it just is what it is.
What do you think, Jake?
What if Mike Tyson sends him?
Oh, don't do that to me. Like,
no, what if?
I mean, look, what? But that was the same. That's the same in every fight. Like, what if Mike Perry walks him down into the 7th?
Mike Tyson is his weight, though.
Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, again.
And who knows what kind of...
I mean, yeah, of course. But first of all, they better be on shit.
Yeah.
If you're 60-year-old Mike Tyson, it's only fair that you're on.
Get on the tee, baby.
But even then, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, he's definitely on the tee, which is good.
Some sort of, like, I think maybe because of it, maybe because of the training. Like, dude, the guy's body isn't going to hold up to what
and
he
getting
wants
punched
to do.
in the head at that age is
That's not right.
You're not going to be able to recover the way you would normally recover when you were younger, a young, hungry lion on top of the world. It's just not the same, man. You're like 30 years removed. It maybe not that long, but still, it feels like 30 years removed from the sport.
No, I think it is.
It was the 90s, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, his last fights were like the early 2000s, but like even that was him past his prime. Like, the early 2000s was him. What are we talking about now? That's 20 years past that. Like, it's just it's actually sick what we're talking about here. But again, as long as everyone gets paid, everyone's not complaining about it. You guys, everyone knows what they're signing up for. Like, the only two boxers we actually fought was Tommy Fury, and then that other boxer, I can't remember his name, that they brought in for him to beat. Like, it just, the guy has the right people around him, the right business people, the right coaches. They know what they're doing. And again, even in that Mike Perry fight, Jake, look, just out-techniqued him. You can't say he did, I mean, and was bigger, obviously, but just kept the jab in his face. He got too close, would clinch him. It was a smart performance. And Mike Perry's just not that kind of boxer.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess in terms of, like, being the BKFC champ, I have to wonder, like, where that leaves Mike Perry in that regards, because I don't think he fought a bad fight. I just felt like he was just clearly outskilled in a sport that he doesn't primarily do, and on top of it, against a much bigger opponent. So I just don't know how the fans would really.
Well, it's tough because I don't think
look at him after that. It's like almost like when you fight someone who's on steroids. Then they get popped after the fight.
Yeah.
But the fight already happened, so we all saw.
Yes.
It's hard to erase that.
No, bare knuckle's a weird sport too because it's such a, again, like a niche thing in itself. Like, if you watch that Eddie Alvarez, like that Eddie Alvarez fight that Mike Perry had, like, Eddie Alvarez, I thought was boxing the shit, like outboxing the shit out of him. But then he got hit with one of those bare knuckle fists from Mike Perry, and you just, like, his whole eye swole up. It was just no, that's what I'm saying. That's a completely different sport. Like, Mike Perry versus Jake Paul in bare knuckle, I think that's a completely different fight, but
100%.
That's not the deal. That's not what we signed up for.
You could kind of clinch.
Yeah. Start dirty boxing.
It's a completely different.
But again, I don't know if fans care. Like, they just saw him lose, and now he's a loser. Unfortunately, that's how the sport works. Like, they don't care about what you did. No, this sport sucks. Like, you could have been on top for a decade, but you got knocked out, you got whatever you lost, you suck. That's where Mike Perry's at right now. I do think he gets a decent name in front of him next, knocks that guy on bare knuckle, and he's back where he wants to be.
Yeah. And then I would just be like, there's weight classes for a reason.
But he might have been cut from bare knuckle, though. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, what do you guys think about what Conor said?
Conor said he was cut. I was like, I don't really understand. I don't know if he was just trolling or just, I don't know.
That's like weird.
I mean,
because
I'm
he
sure he
owns
was
the company now.
I'm sure he was drinking, fucking having a good night, and was
Some
just
proper
like
12.
was like, this fucking idiot lost. He's out. Like I don't know if that's. I'm sure the bare knuckle guys weren't even happy that he took this fight. Honestly, like for them, it's a very likely chance your guy loses, and again, he loses that aura or whatever the kids fucking call it now.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's where he's at right now. So yeah, of course everyone's gonna be upset. Look, the MMA fans are upset at him. Like everyone's. This sport sucks, bro. It just is what it is.
Guys, MMA fighters all across the world, please stop entertaining Jake Paul by obliging to sign the contract. We don't need to do that unless you are his size. If you are not his size, please stay away, because we don't need any more corpses, any more casualties along the way to try to show what we've been trying to get to proven for
a while.
Years now.
Yeah.
At this point, the guy's just running
hilarious.
amok.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
He's
years
running
now.
amok while trying to be an advocate and running amok at the same time, just dispatching our heroes.
Well, okay, I guess the argument too would be a lot of these guys wouldn't have the need to take fights like this if they were just getting paid properly. So that I do understand. Where I think, I don't know if Jake Paul made that argument, somebody made that argument before, like, Tyron Woodley was a world champion. Ben Askren was, in one, he was in the UFC, but like a top, at a high level. Like those guys shouldn't, in my opinion, those guys shouldn't feel the need to have to make a big payday fighting this fucking idiot, because they already had a career where they should have made that kind of payment or that kind of money. Like they wouldn't have to if they already made that throughout their career, which I feel like would have been deserved. Like a guy like Woodley, like I think he got like paid $1 or $2 million to fight Jake Paul. Like,
But as a fighter, you see this guy coming into your sport, you're just like, I can't allow this man to just breathe my oxygen like this.
But it's not your sport. Like combat sports, I get, but like boxing is boxing. Like I always remember like Joe Duffy. Like you remember Joe?
Yeah.
Duffy? Yeah, he's the 155er. He was the first or second guy to beat Conor McGregor. Like that guy took a few years off from MMA to box. And if you watch him box, like I thought phenomenal boxer. Like really at a low level or like a medium level, like really good. And in MMA he did really well too, for the most part. But you get a guy like that who actually spent years just boxing and then put him into it. Yeah, he'll be fine. Like, he has the awareness, he has the skills, he's, seen everything at this point. But you get a lot of these guys who are like okay at boxing, okay at, like, yeah, of course that guy's going to get lit up. Like he's not, it's the same thing. This would be the same thing if I went to a jiu-jitsu competition against a guy that's only been doing jiu-jitsu his whole life. Yeah, that's going to be a tough match for me. Like, I've been doing other shit, like,
Yeah.
It's just, this guy knows what he's doing. He's very smart about it.
Man, Joe Duffy, I haven't heard that name in so long.
I was a big Joe Duffy fan. The fucking
What
slick,
happened to him?
He just kind of, during COVID, I remember last couple fights, just kind of, you could tell he just kind of slowed down, just didn't have, and I don't want to speak for him, it just didn't look like he had that anymore, Like, I don't know what makes people stop, but like, whatever pop he had, whatever made him good at the beginning, he just couldn't recreate anymore.
So you're saying he just doesn't have it anymore?
I don't look. You never want to say that about somebody,
Damn.
but it just no, because like you talk about this. You see the Joe Duffy, even that fought Dustin Poirier in a losing effort. That guy was a dog. Like that guy was scrapping the whole fight.
Really good,
phenomenal fight actually. Like and again, Joe Duffy outboxed Dustin, but Dustin just made it mean, was elbowing him, found takedowns. Like he just made it a good MMA fight. But in pure boxing, Joe Duffy was again and everyone I know speaks highly of Dustin Poirier's boxing, but like if you put those two in a pure boxing match, Joe Duffy's knocking him out, in my opinion. But that's because that guy went to a boxing gym and just did that for years. Like, what do you think is going to happen? 100%, just a different sport.
Were you about to say something?
I was just gonna move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
O'Malley winning fighter of the year.
What year? I'm not like, what is the year they're referring to? It's like, if you're saying from like the fight Aljo to like January, like that's 6 or 7 month window, like, okay, I guess he's 2-0 in that window, and then you try to ignore everything else. But like, what are you talking like 2023 or
he
like?
won it for the ESPYs awarded him 2023 fighter of the year.
And that's for the year of 2023. Like that makes
He fought one time with the same way Jake Paul does, a stacked deck in his favor, and you win. I'm just glad I'm blessed to be in this position to help the UFC create this monster.
This is crazy. He created this
I'm
monster.
sorry.
No, like even. I mean, look, we can talk about that forever. Actually, I don't want to run back.
There were better candidates.
That's the only thing that sucks. It's like, okay, like
Yeah.
you know there were better
I mean,
candidates.
who do
Like,
you guys think should have won it?
I mean, easy.
Poetan.
That's just my opinion.
There's
Why?
no denial for 2023.
Double
Just-
champ became one of the few
Well, let's
double
just
champs.
talk 2023.
Yeah,
What he
yeah,
'Cause
did.
he became
November.
double champ in 2020.
Yep, November 2023. Is
Okay,
when-
yeah.
At the Garden.
yeah.
Oh, that was okay. Yeah.
So he did that. He beat Blachowicz, I think,
Blachowicz.
earlier that year.
Yeah, I don't know if he probably lost per or what's his name
Izzy.
Izzy early in the year, but like again, like we're talking about a guy that came back, won 2 fights in a row. I mean,
And then won a title at a
Won a
different
title
weight
at a
class.
different weight class,
Way
like-
more impressive, way more active. I thought that's what it was. Is like if you're gonna be the fighter of the year, it's like an all-encompassing thing. So now it just makes me wonder. Well, is this just a popularity contest? Because if that's the case, then okay, yeah, O'Malley should win.
well, that's
based
again like based on that too.
I guess.
But then Ilya too, like again, also dethroned
Ilya.
a long reigning champ. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. What
But
criteria?
Ilya
Honestly,
was
though,
this year.
would you-
2024.
Oh, it's true. Okay, that's fair.
Would you guys be even talking about this right now if Sean didn't win it? Like if Pereira did win it, would we be talking about this ever?
Not be
No.
like I think
think
we would
that's
just be
why
like
he
that's a
got
fair
it.
choice. Like that.
No, like, but I don't even think it would have been. Like no one in the MMA realm would have even thought about the ESPYs unless Sean won it.
Well, I mean, if they, I guess
Unless
it
he
would just.
won it? No. I mean, if you just announce someone that's the winner, we're talking about it. But you want to talk about the right person that deserved
Well,
it.
that's why I think they knew it would be controversial. Like when they put out these lists every once in a while. Like this is a different genre, but like
This
when
is ESPN we're talking about.
I know, but exactly they need
That's
ratings
just-
too.
That's just
I mean, I guess this would be my argument against that. Is like, what the hell does ESPN know about MMA? Like, like these guys got on the bandwagon.
Stephen A.
You
Smith,
don't
bro?
think Stephen A. Smith is the MMA goat?
First of all, this is a controversial opinion. I love Stephen A. Smith. I don't care. I think the guy's hilarious.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying I agree with anything he says. Honestly, I just find the guy to be hilarious. But those guys don't know shit about this sport. Like, respectfully,
Yeah.
like they don't know anything. So like, yeah, it's probably one of those things. Like, I don't know anything about basketball. If you ask me who the best basketball player of the year was, I'll probably say LeBron 20 years in a row because I don't know. I really just I'm like, yeah, LeBron, sure. Like, and to me, that's almost like I don't know. We could be not thinking enough about it, thinking too deep into it, but I'm thinking like they're probably just like, who's the best fighter? Who's that? Like that O'Malley guy. They like him. Yeah.
that's what I feel
That's
like
how-
it is. I don't think there was any real thought of like let's get the people riled up for ratings. Because if that was the case, I'm like, one, that's just evil, and two, that's just very disingenuous to what the ESPYs actually mean. And like that makes me not even want to ever attempt to even get that, because what does it mean if they could just rig it and give it to anyone that they decide that they want to push?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
that
like
just waters down the whole thing for everyone.
it's almost like the Grammys. Like sometimes they have the Grammy Awards, and there's people that clearly should be on the list, but
Yeah.
they're not invited because it gets a little bit political. So it's just weird in that regards. So then it's like, is the Grammy really the best of the best if you're gonna exclude certain people that deserve to be in the conversation? And that's all it is. Even like I'm sure Pereira was in the conversation in that room, but to go and say this guy has had 3 fights, this guy had 1, he sat out for 11 months, and we're gonna give it to this guy. It's
For
just
1-0.
crazy.
Again, even Makachev, how many fights did he have last year? He definitely knocked out Volk once in one of those, and then beat him the first
Even
time.
Islam,
That's what I'm saying. Islam
is a
2-0.
fair option.
I thought there were just too many guys that had too good of a resume in 2023.
At least 5. I mean, you can even put Tommy Aspinall in
I was
there.
gonna say absolutely. Like again, but it's the same thing. Like Tom Aspinall won 1 fight, became the champ. So what's the difference between Aspinall and O'Malley? Like I don't like you. It should be a toss up at that point. So but
No,
then-
at that point. But I thought he fought twice last year.
Oh, you might be right on that.
I could be completely
I
wrong,
definitely
but I thought he fought
remember.
twice.
I just remember him beating Sergey. But yeah, he might have fought. Yeah, you might be right on that. Fought earlier in
Yeah.
the year too.
Because I just think to be fighter of the year to fight 1 time and then get an award like that is kind of just, I don't know, it's kind of backwards to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like being pound for pound. That whole conversation, which is never going to end.
Yes, of
because
course.
no one agrees on what the set criteria. Someone needs to just sit down and say, this is what pound for pound means. If you have a different definition of it, then okay.
Yeah.
But this is what it actually means. And it's supposed to be, if all things were created equal with your skill set, versus another person's skill set, if size was not a factor, who would win?
Yeah.
And I know Usman was kind of coming at Pereira for it, saying like he would just like to see him show a little bit more versatility,
Yes.
which is
Totally fair.
Yeah, but with his skill set, if he could do that at any
Every weight class?
it does not matter.
I agree with that.
Because he's knocking guys
Yeah.
out.
But I guess his argument also, and I do understand, it's like in other weight classes, you couldn't get away with that because like everyone.
Which is very fair.
Yeah, everyone else can wrestle. Everyone else can do everything a little bit. You know, and that weight classes that he's in, I think it's just a little. I mean, and you can't blame Pereira for that either. You're in what time you're in. Like, you know, you can't change that. So you can't be mad at Pereira because it's like a more shallow division right now. But it is a more shallow division, and we have to be objective about that. Like, if he was doing that at 135, 145, 150, I'd be like, this guy's unequivocally pound for pound the guy. You know, he's starching everyone. But unfortunately, again, it's a complete hypothetical, so it's hard for me to say that he's the guy.
Tom Aspinall did fight twice in 2023.
Who did he fight before?
Marcin Tybura.
Oh, okay.
And it was
Tommy
it was a
Aspinall.
finish.
It was a finish, right?
It was a two finishes, and that's coming off the ACL.
Off the ACL injury
In
with Curtis
2022,
Blades.
yeah.
Now they're having a rematch.
That's a fun fight.
So I just feel like no knock on O'Malley whatsoever. It's just facts are the facts. I just felt they should have actually made it fair to the other athletes that are competing as well.
Yeah.
Maybe Pereira doesn't even give a shit. Like,
Of course.
It's not that big of a deal to the athletes, but when you push that out to the fan base, I just think that's a little bit disingenuous because now you're almost just completely ignoring and just erasing everything that everyone else had did in their respective division because you just want to push that if that's what they were trying to do.
And second point to that, awards are nonsense anyways. It's all awards are like those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They can pick anything for whatever reason. Like unless they had a set criteria, like the pound for pound thing, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Unless there was a set criteria where they were like, this is the reason why we picked these guys. Unless they actually announced that stuff, then yeah, it's just all nonsense anyways.
Yeah, fascinating stuff in my opinion.
You had a big announcement this week.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I'm fighting Movsar Evloev.
Do you know how to say his name?
Movsar
Evloev, right?
Evloev.
Wow.
Evloev.
He's gonna take this personally.
Let him
He's gonna take this
personally.
personally? Come on, nah, those Russians are tough.
But
That's not.
When it comes to the last name, though.
Lucky I'm trying not to curse on here. But that POS posted a picture of me being knocked out by Marlon Moraes and then makes a tweet saying he's going to knock me out. And I'm just confused because I'm like, brother, I can understand if anyone else in this division were to say something like that, but a guy who's had all decisions with even the up-and-coming guys on his way up to where he is now, like, granted, like you won, but at the same time, you haven't knocked out or finished anyone since the regional circuit. Like, that's actually crazy.
Well, again, that's where I'm like talking about disingenuous. Like, I think fans can see past that. Like, when someone's like, I'm gonna knock you out, it's like, you haven't knocked out anyone. Like, what are you like?
You haven't even tried.
That's what, yeah, 100%. So, like, why are you trying to sell this on this now? Like, you know, like, dude, you're gonna try to wrestle. You're gonna. I mean, it's fine, but like, just be objective. I'd actually prefer it if he's like, dude, I'm gonna hump your leg for 15 minutes and you're not gonna stop me. I'd be like,
that
oh,
would actually be hilarious.
I'd be like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna be a problem. Like, we better stop this.
Yo,
you know?
even in his like most of his regional fights were decisions.
Bro, I'm like, I was finishing guys on the regional circuit. Like, you put the cans in front of me, I take out the trash. That's just what I do, baby.
God, dude.
That's just what I did.
It's a bar.
You know what I mean? Like, even when I came to the UFC, like, my third UFC fight was a number 6 ranked guy, and I haven't went back since then, other than Taquinho Mendez, who was the only other unranked guy I fought. Everybody else was ranked. So all these other guys in the bantamweight division, featherweight, all the other divisions, when they're fighting and getting these highlight reels over other, I don't want to call them cans because I don't want to be disrespectful, but guys that couldn't hang for too long.
Absolutely.
Right? Meaning they were losing, not like a political thing where they're like 2-2 and the UFC just cut them. Okay, because that's not right. But the ones who are actually losing 0-3, 0-4, or 1-4, 1-3, whatever, those guys that they fought, they're getting highlight reels off of those guys. But when you put them in the rankings with the other top talent, they ain't doing that.
100%.
They ain't doing that.
No.
So people calling me a decision merchant or whatever is just like mind blowing. I'm like, dude, look at my track record. I finished guys. Even guys that were in the top 10, top 15, I finished guys like that as well. And of course, you get to the top 5, it gets hard. I mean, you're talking Petr Yan, you're talking O'Malley, you're talking Henry Cejudo, you're talking TJ Dillashaw, Corey St. Hagen. These are all tough guys. Like,
You finished a couple of those guys.
and I finished a couple of those people. So in my opinion, it's like, I feel like no one can say anything to me about decisions, especially Movsar. I'm like, brother, you didn't even try. Like, you could say the Calvin Kattar fight, but it takes two. If Kattar's not giving me any opportunities to advance, it's either I'm going to lose a position doing something reckless because I'm trying to force something that's not there, which would just be silly of me in a sense of a high-stake fight, going up a weight class, coming off of a TKO loss. Like, I have all incentive to just win.
Yes.
Versus, I just want to make this really, really exciting and fight reckless.
Yes.
You know, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, to fight reckless in that scenario where you're already dominant, like, you have everything to lose and very little to gain in that scenario. Like, even
100%.
let's say you dominated Kattar for 2.5 rounds and you choked him out in the third. You don't think people are still gonna bitch about that? Like, oh yeah, but those first 2 rounds were fucking boring. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just, there's no, like, even after you choked out Sandhagen in the first round, like people will always find a reason to hate, and I think that's just always gonna be the deal.
I got lucky.
You got lucky. Yeah, he's like, he got him. You know, he wasn't ready. Now new Sandhagen, you couldn't beat new Sandhagen.
I'm just like, you guys just keep raising the bar. But it is what it is. That's the fans, some of the fans, and I guess that's what makes the sport exciting, right? I guess it's always that constant what if. Like, we're never going to get to fight everybody. We're never going to get to see those rematches that we would love to see. Like, but certain ones, like an Arman Shayukian versus Islam Makhachev, we saw how great that first fight was coming in on short notice for Arman. It's like, you get a guy who can grapple like that, who can match his grappling. That's a very interesting fight,
100%.
especially can actually strike on the feet as well. That's why I'm looking forward to a rematch like that, because I think it's earned, and two, it's an intriguing matchup for multiple reasons, because I feel like they almost have unfinished business from the first fight.
And again, like, I know a lot of people, like, everyone loves to see just two guys stand and bang and, like, you know, beat the shit out of each other. But, like, you watch, like, the Armin fight with Mateus Gamrot, or even, like, Gamrot, Dariush, like, phenomenal. Like, and I think a fight with you and Evloev has the potential to be something like that, where, like, if Evloev is willing to actually engage you on the ground, then there could be so much fun, like, scrambles and so much
100%.
fun grappling. But you have to be able to appreciate that and actually, like, enjoy what you're looking at with that.
Yeah, grappling could be fun, but it takes two. You have to have two people that know what they're doing. If one person just gets taken down, they don't know what to do. Yeah, it's not as entertaining unless the guy's gonna lay there and let you just lean into him with some punches and elbows. But
I'll say Evloev has had those fights where he probably could have done some more damage. Honestly, like, looking back at some of his fights, like, he's in positions where I'm like, yo, you could do some damage here, and he is content to hold the guy there, or like
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, for a guy like him to be saying, I'm gonna finish, it's like, dude, just be objective about it. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, and that's why I said what I said in rebuttal. Like, brother, I'm gonna have you hold on to my legs while like a little bitch, because I know what you're gonna do. Like, don't sit here and try to fake the funk. Like,
Absolutely.
you're gonna try to come out here and do all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, you might come out in round one and start throwing something heavy, but you're gonna shoot
Yes.
right away, and I'm gonna be looking to snatch that neck up. That's what I can't wait for that fight. It's gonna be a fun fight, I think, 100%. But I do think he makes one wrong takedown entry, his neck leaves his neck out there, gets exposed. I'm taking it home. If I get in on his legs, I think it's going to be a very unique position to see how good he is defensively when guys are actually trying to take him down. And I can honestly see myself taking him down, controlling him, and him not knowing what the hell to do down there. So get with your guy Parump and start training, because Parump knows. He's gotten a training camp with me a couple of times with Petr Yan. So try to study as much as you can, because it ain't going to help you.
You guys, speaking of a big fight, Joe Biden just dropped out.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
Sleepy Joe, he's out.
You mean Donald Trump he didn't have to do nothing?
Nah, they're gonna have a replacement.
Yeah, they're going to
My man got shot and he pulled out.
Bro, he saw the man couldn't get taken out by a bullet and was like, nah, I'm not fucking with this guy. Nah, they're going to put Crooked Hillary in there. I mean, this is a pretty...
You think? She'll get smoked. No
I mean,
one likes her.
To be fair, you're assuming it's going to be a fair election.
Here's my thing. A lot of Republicans like
They stole
Trump.
the vote.
A lot of Republicans like Trump, but I'm pretty sure like nobody likes Hillary.
But again, a lot of Democrats just hate Trump, so they don't care who's in there.
Yeah, but I think a lot of those people like Trump now.
Nah, like I go in the shade room and I've
Oh,
commented a couple times, just like I don't care no matter what, I'm voting Trump.
all the time you see it.
And I got so much flack and heat.
No way.
And
I just started responding to those two on that.
and so I read the comments and people are just
Crazy.
just spamming that it doesn't matter who's on the other side. they just have to vote against Trump, no matter what the policies or anything are. Like, but that's the world we're living in. Where it's a popularity contest versus like actual facts of what things are
Like it
being
should be
done.
based on. Okay, to be fair, it should be based on merit, but it's not because if it was based on merit, like neither of these guys would be in there probably. Like
1000%.
Like
These are old people.
These are old people. Like you're telling me this is the top of the line we got in this country. Of course, other countries are laughing at us. But like, if you're asking me between Sleepy Joe and Trump and whoever crooked person they're gonna try to put in there, yeah, probably got to put Trump in there. Like it just is what it is.
I agree.
Over Biden, definitely. I mean,
Biden's out.
It's actually
it was
fascinating.
nice
that
when things weren't.
he's out
They're gonna
now.
put Michael Obama in there.
Michael Obama is crazy.
What happened?
Do you believe that? That's real?
I don't know what to believe.
I saw a
I can't
video.
agree or disagree with anything. I just.
What are you
I
trying
can
to say? What are you trying to say about Michelle Obama?
I
mean,
dude.
Michelle.
I don't know anything. Like, but someone better send me a picture of Michelle Obama in high school as a girl. Like, if you can do that, like, you better post that on the Weekly Scraps channel today. Like, I don't know. Look, I don't know anything about nothing. Okay, I barely follow fighting at this point. Nah, just I have a lot of questions about everything. All right. I mean, if you can't ask those questions, that's on you.
It's okay to be skeptical.
You got to be skeptical, a little skeptical about everything at this point. No.
Definitely.
I agree.
Especially with all this nonsense.
I mean, they tried to kill my boy Trump. I don't know, like.
That was actually wild. But I heard the report that it was like a glass that chipped off and hit him in the ear. Or something.
That's
you can
the
see
new,
the video of the bullet.
100%.
You can see a picture of the bullet.
They have like a frame.
I don't dig that deep because I know some people are like, do your own research.
No, but like you didn't
I
even
got
have
shit
to.
to
It
do,
was just
man.
all
This
over
one,
Twitter.
unfortunately, I did a lot of research on. Dude,
Unfortunately.
I spent hours.
I had
Like,
friends that thought it was a fake. I'm like,
How?
Based on what? I'm like, just give me. He's like, I don't know. Nobody's just getting up and raising their fist like that. And I'm just
badasses.
like,
Trump would.
yeah.
Are you
and
kidding
I'm like,
me?
that's your take on why it's fake.
I argued with Kelvin about this for a while. I'm not gonna lie, the other day, but
My
like,
brother thinks it's fake too.
he thought it was fake.
Not
I'm like-
Kelvin.
oh,
My other brother.
no.
Yeah.
Troy?
It's like everything just feels like a stage. Or
I
whatever.
get
I was
it.
like, listen, man. There's a dead body. Whether they killed the person and then brought him there and left him in the crowd to pretend that it was someone that got shot, that's a very tough task to do.
But even like if you're
Yeah.
saying
In
it's
a
fake,
crowd of
like the
people.
bullet, like the only reason he survived was because he turned like the last second. Like if you see any of the diagrams, like if
Yeah,
he did,
I
it
saw
was
it
gonna
when
get, it was
he
gonna
was-
get him. Like
And if he didn't move his head, it would have gone right through
right
the back of his
100%,
head and killed
like,
him.
So what are we talking about here? Like the conspiracy that it's like fake, that one's a little crazy to me. I think the government definitely was in on that one though. Like I mean that one I'm gonna say 100%. Like
Someone
dude,
definitely.
Wait, when you say the
turned a
government,
blind
what do you
eye.
mean?
I don't want to get got
Steve,
either.
yeah,
but
Like the actual government or like?
well, I mean, members of the government, definitely. Like, I mean, even just the fact that they left that roof, like, unsecured, and then their reasoning for it was because, there was a slope to it. Like, that's why we couldn't put anyone up there. It was too dangerous. Like, there was a slope to it. Like, if you look at the slope, it's less than 5 degrees. I don't know. Like, it's literally nothing. They had people actually already in there. They had their sights on the guy for 25 minutes and let him walk around. I think the reason he was walking around was probably because he was having a mental breakdown of, oh shit, I'm about to shoot the former president. Like, this is about to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they had 25 minutes to take this guy out. People were recording this guy on the roof. I don't know. Like, they wanted this man to get shot, in my opinion. Please don't kill me. But this is just my thoughts.
I love my life and I did not try to take it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to kill myself. Please, come on. I just want to chill.
Take a page out of Andrew Tate's book.
Nah, but he's been right about a couple things too. Damn.
Yeah, no, but there's tweets from like 2 years ago saying that Joe Biden was going to drop out of the race.
Yeah, I saw that too. But to be
Like,
fair,
people were
no, it wasn't 2
talking-
years ago.
people
it
were
was,
predicting this.
To be fair, it was 4 years ago. I know what you're talking about, and that was from the last election, which I think is fair. Like, so,
Oh, well, if that's the last election, then it doesn't really count.
yeah.
No, I've seen him like
If there's more recent ones, then maybe I don't
more
know.
recent ones I've seen.
I mean, there was definitely Vivek last year was like Vivek Ramaswamy,
Yeah.
whatever. He was 100% predicting this. He goes like, they're gonna take Biden out the last couple months and then try to throw somebody else in there as like a Trojan horse. Yeah, whatever.
Imagine that actually works.
Trump's
but-
going to be president, and then Vivek's going to be president after him.
I would love that. That would be a
nice.
beautiful world.
Get things back on track.
Dude, we're gonna get, I think, a lot of hate from this one.
Oh, I'm going to clip this up too.
Oh,
Listen, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we got a grappling match this Thursday
Oh.
in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm taking on, I think JJ JJ. I'm taking on a guy JJ
JJ.
Wilson or JJ
JJ Wilson.
Morari. Is that his nickname? JJ
I
Wilson.
thought it was Wilson.
Yeah, JJ Wilson. 55er, it seems like a judo guy / BJJ black belt kind of a thing. So it should be an interesting match.
The Bellator fighter, MMA guy.
Yeah, I think he's like 10-1, so he's a pretty good fighter. I'm looking forward to this. He actually trains at ATT also. I did my research, and I know he trains down there with Siddiq and
nice.
Movsar as well. So should be an interesting thing. Like part of me was kind of like, should I not take this match to like not
let
give
them.
any real inside information to Movsar? But then I was like, you know what? I put my Thug Life glasses on and I was just like, fudge it.
Honestly, the real chess move would be to go out there and completely shit the bed and just grapple horribly.
It's like, I saw.
Yes, and then they'd be like, oh, and then in his mind, he's like, I'm gonna run through this guy. I train with this guy. I'm run through him. He ran through him. I'm gonna kill this guy. And then when he gets in there and feels like, oh fuck, this is gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But it'll be interesting. It's gonna be a unique matchup. I was kind of like not really into it, and then I was kind of like not into it, and then I was into it, and then here we are.
Wait, what's the format of the match? You know?
8 minutes. I asked for EBI overtime rules
They're doing
because
it
I
now.
want someone. I want a definitive winner. Like
Yeah.
whether it's me or him, like I just want a definitive winner. Someone that comes out on top in this matchup, and not just some draw or some butt scooting shit. And I told Asim, I was like, yo, if you're gonna give me a butt scooter, I'm completely out. Like I want someone who's gonna at least try to wrestle with me, or at least has some type of threat where if I wrestle with them, they can at least look for guillotines or something. So it's not just I'm just gonna pull guard and sit here and
Yeah.
play grab ass. Like nah, I want to at least feel like I'm in a match.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's fair.
like even Grundy, like it was mostly wrestling, but it was at least competitive where. Yeah, I felt like I was in a fight, even though I was partying the whole time. But I felt like I was in a fight. Like him collar tying, he snapped me down to my hands. I was like, "Oh shit, this guy's trying to take me out."
But you guys tried to wrestle.
He's trying to get the dough.
Yeah.
You know, and there was some positions going for the guillotine and whatnot. Like make it somewhat exciting,
Yeah.
like something. And just to kind of do like a pre-camp, because from this past Saturday I was 11 weeks out.
Okay.
So now this is going to be this week. It'll be 10 weeks out, and kind of just segue the training camp, get everything firing. Put the vape down. Not today though, but after this week.
Then we're good.
Then
No vaping. You're saying
then
after
we're
this
good.
week.
And then some other things. We got birthday party coming up at Summer Clubhouse NYC. Waiting for the rest of the details. I'll let you guys know the dates on that in case you are in New York City. Or, no, actually it's not New York City. It's Long Island City, right by the water. It's a pretty cool spot. So we got that coming up. And then we have the release of Funk Harbor Rum going live on August 1st. We're going to try to get the website up and running with the updates so that people can pre-order to have it for the official release. And we're going to be doing like a signing for like the first 100 buyers. So they'll get like an official signed bottle and everything. So we're going to go down there, get the bottle signed up just to make it a little bit more exclusive and for the true fans that support and whatnot. So it should be good, man. We're rock and roll. We got a lot going on.
We're in a good spot.
It's a lot. Busy time. So I think that's all we got. We got any other thing? Oh, Pombo's fighting August 10th,
Yeah. Then it's 2 weeks after that.
August 24th, in Vegas. And
Then
anybody else?
In terms of the UFC, it's after that I think Frivola and then you.
Oh, Favola's fighting in Paris, so we know that one already. Yeah, so we got a busy schedule coming
I
up.
think
these next
Marab's
few
going to
weeks.
probably be somewhere in there too, right?
Yeah, I would imagine Marab's probably going to be in September.
I would think so, yeah.
Hopefully they told him already, but we'll see.
Crazy
We don't
time.
need no more stacked decks against the Long Island guys.
No, we're good to go.
All right, good.
All right, guys. See you guys next time. Drink responsibly.
See you next week.
See you next week. Peace.